Hi everyone, Ellie Hockman here with my Mustang. We have a huge update for you today, and we'll also be revealing our Mustang's names at the end of the video. As you can see, my Mustang is not only standing tied like an angel, but she's also wearing a saddle. It's taken us all week to get to this point, but I'm so happy that she's able to stand quietly without being stressed. I even caught her almost falling asleep a few times. She's definitely starting to settle in with a domesticated life, though she's still cautious about new people and unfamiliar objects. I slowly introduced the saddle, pad, and halter with reins attached over the past couple days until she was comfortable wearing all three at once. We then practiced tying separately before I had her stand tied with tack on. The first thing I introduced was the halter with reins, and once she was comfortable standing still while wearing it, I sent her out on a circle so she could feel the reins flopping around while she was moving. She was cautious at first, but was eventually able to canter with it on without being worried. Next, I introduced the pad and saddle and followed the same pattern as with the halter. Once she was comfortable wearing them while standing still, I sent her out on a circle to move around again. We spent so much time with the saddle on just standing still that she was relatively calm while moving around and didn't offer any bucks. We also worked on yielding the haunches, which she picked up on quickly. These Mustangs are so smart. We also went for our first walk out of the round pen, and while she was quite nervous at first, she eventually settled down and walked very nicely, as you can see here. My Mustang was doing so well in our session this morning that I decided to try for our first sit. Don't worry, I didn't just jump on her out of the blue. I did a lot of preparation for this that I didn't get on video, so she was used to me jumping next to her and putting some weight on her back. She was a bit hesitant at first and kept adjusting to my weight, but once she realized that we weren't going anywhere, she settled down quickly. I probably only sat on her for about a minute before getting off and ending our session. I'm so proud of her, and I'm looking forward to starting her riding training next week. Hannah introduced the saddle to her Mustang on day 4, and she did a great job with it. She offered a few bucks, but fortunately, she didn't get frantic and soon settled into the feeling of the saddle shifting around. Hannah worked on tying with her horse, too. Lucky for her, this mare is a bit on the lazy side, so she was perfectly content to stand and do nothing for a while. She did slip the rope off the fence a couple times from turning her head to look at things, but Hannah just walked over and put it back, and she was fine. Hannah's first sit was on the morning of day 6, and this mare did a great job. She's had a lot of preparation for this too, so we weren't surprised. Like with tying, she was perfectly content to stand still. Hannah has also been doing some ground driving work with her Mustang, so she felt confident with moving her around under saddle that afternoon. I was in the pen with them for their first ride to help back up the go cues that Hannah gave her since this mare is on the lazy side. During Hannah's session with her Mustang this morning, she asked if I would come with them over to the arena. I was a bit wary, but since this mare has been led in the arena before and Hannah said she would lead her over there by hand, I agreed. The mare's energy was a bit up once Hannah started riding her in the arena, but Hannah was very soft and patient and did a great job when the mare started trotting without being asked. To wrap up the session, Hannah brought her mare into the stable for the first time and put her in a stall. We hung out with her for a few minutes before taking her back outside, but honestly, we probably could have left her in there for the rest of the day without a problem. She mostly hung out in the back of her stall, but she was very interested in watching the people and horses in the stable moving around. Emily's yearling has made some great progress too. They've been going to the arena every day and working on some in-hand exercises since this filly is far too young to be ridden. Emily sent me a video of tying practice the other day and said that she is doing a great job. Yesterday, Emily asked if I would introduce myself to her Mustang to get her used to other people. I happily agreed, and after about 20 minutes of working my way closer to her, she let me rub her face and seemed to enjoy it. We then decided to go on an off-property walk and ended up going halfway to Fort Pinta and back. There were a few hairy moments that I didn't get on video since I put my camera away to help, but overall, the walk went well. Once we got back, Emily decided to put her Mustang in the stall for a bit to get her used to being inside since it's supposed to storm in a few days. This little filly had no problem being in the stall and happily watched all of the people and horses coming and going. We ended up leaving her by herself for about an hour while Emily rode her horse and I worked with one of mine, and when we came back, she was standing there just as cute as ever. We're all looking forward to another week with our Mustangs.
Wait a minute, aren't we forgetting something?
Yeah, what about their names? Oh yeah, that's right. I can't believe I almost forgot about that. Since you're both here, do you want to introduce your own Mustangs?
Yes.
Absolutely.
This is tag 8462, and she is no longer just a number. Her new name is Silent Sparrow, or Sparrow for short.
This is tag 3833, and she's no longer just a number. Her name is Music of the Night, or Melody. And this is tag 1313, and she is no longer just a number. Her name is Here Where the Sunbeams Are Green, or Orchid for short. Make sure to keep an eye out for our next update.